this very long answer is that a friend of mine brought up this Ludovico Einaudi song called Experience. And when I heard the song, it really touched me, and it made me think of a scene for whatever movie, I didn't know what it would be, of a woman who is dreaming the life she will never have, dreaming the future, thinking of the future, a bit of a la 6 Feet Under, the finale. And then I wrote that scene, and around that scene, I wrote Mommy. And I knew that Anne would be the mother. I knew that I wanted to do the movie in French, and Anne, it had been 5 years since Anne and I had not been working together. Well, we've been working together in little parts in my movies, because I always wanted to keep the connection, and we thought it was funny, but it was nothing as substantial as I killed my mother. And then came Mommy. So that's how Mommy came about.
Stutter shook and uptight. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
So the film is shot in a very unusual aspect ratio of like a perfect square that's 1:1. So I was wondering which came first, sort of the story and the characters, or the sort of aesthetic realization that you wanted to film the film in this sort of unusual format?
When I shot the music video College Boy, it was in 1:1. And it was my cinematographer's idea. He was very excited at the idea, the thought of filming in that very peculiar aspect ratio. I was like, it's a music video, we can do whatever we want, have formal explorations and then try and anyway. But the fact is that I realized that it did real nice portraits. And as a matter of fact, it's the first aspect ratio to have ever been used as a, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the first aspect ratio that people ever use. That 1:1, 6:6 is just, and it does really give this portrait thing of head, shoulders. It really frames the face, and I was struck by how humane and personal and intimate it was. People, I think, believe that I did that to imprison the characters or to make the movie feel suffocating. I never really thought of that. It really was about just focusing on the eyes and characters, and that was my only idea with that.
But was it a challenge to sort of compose the other shots in the film that aren't like close-up or focusing on facing?
It was sometimes a challenge, yes. I mean, especially if we were all three of them, sorry, in the shot. Sometimes to get everybody in, it was a challenge, but
the film has a very sort of interesting soundtrack with a lot of sort of music from the 90s. What was the process of selecting the songs you used in the film?
We wanted to have songs that would appeal to everybody and that would open the doors of people's private lives and memories, so that their memories that would surface would serve the movie's emotional strength as well. Not, when you hear a song like Wonderwall from Oasis, I think you can't help but think about your own life and think about the moments when you've heard that song. Who were you kissing? And who were you thinking of? Were you driving? Were you on your way home from your first heartbreak? Were you on your way to the prom ball? Or were you telling your mom that you were moving out and it was playing on the radio? Or, it's all these songs that have been heard so many times, and when you hear them, you can't help but smile or, who knows, cry. They have an echo in your own life. And that echo, the movie benefits from that echo. But, it's not about doing less style and focusing on substance. It's about finding the balance between both. Some directors out there will tell you that whatever style, whatever flourishes, whatever effect is superfluous and that you are mannered and being, that it's only about characters. Some directors out there will think that if you don't just take your camera and sit there and watch things happen without ever doing anything, if you do more than that, then you are one of these one of those aesthetes that actually just think about themselves and want to put their signature up front. But the thing is, it's not a matter of it's not either or. You don't have to choose. You just have to ask yourself, what's truly important is always the character and the story. That's what matters. But then there's always room for ideas.
Do you ever get tired of your career being sort of defined as a wunderkind? That's been sort of part of your narrative since you were...
Can I be very honest with you?
Yeah.
I don't really care about those labels. And I'm not tired about people mentioning it. I'm tired about people asking me about it. Because I have nothing to say about it. It's just, those are just words. It's just, what can I say about it? If I comment it, it's then it becomes pretentious. If I ignore it, it becomes, how can I deal with that? And it's like people asking me, you've made 5 films and you're 25 years old. What? Next year is going to be 26 and the year after is going to be 27.
He has il a développé
Dis-le en français, je vais le
un
traduire.
langage cinématographique beaucoup plus pur, beaucoup plus précis.
She said that I have, that's a little weird, she says that I have developed, those are her words, that I have developed a more precise and pure and more simplified cinematic language and grammar.
We were the three of us. We were constantly in his arms. He's very protective director. Very, he loves so much actors and acting in general. So he protects us, but he's very exigeant.
He's very demanding.
He's very demanding, and that's what we want as actors.
I think what was important and what the actors really achieved well was to walk a line for the entire movie. All characters are very, very different from one another, and all 3 actors walked the line, the precise line of their own characters from beginning to end, without ever breaking out of character. She kept her thing with her voice, the way she walks, the gait, and that's what's hard for me as an actor and as a director, and they all did it so well.